Before we get into this episode, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. You can hit the notification button so you can get updated weekly on all of our latest content. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, tell us what you want to see next below. You guys have to give us context on how this organically happened, because that's what it feels like. And I think that's one of the reasons that it's so sticky and such a hit.
Yeah, I mean, we've said for the last couple of years that our authentic love is the rocket fuel that makes it go. So all the things that we show on social media has been our life for 10 years. I mean, ever since we've been together. I've been calling her Pookie from 2 weeks after I met her onward. I'm obsessed with her. I love telling her
I have to bat him off with a stick.
I love telling her how beautiful she is. I love making people feel good in general. I try to make everyone feel good. And so, yeah, like a year and a half ago, we just started putting it in video on social media, and instantly it exploded. I mean, but it's been like this for 10 years.
I think personally, from a woman's standpoint of why it exploded is because guys could put a little more elbow grease into it. And I feel like you're putting the elbow grease into it. Do you guys feel that that's something that's maybe a reason of why it was sticking?
I mean, again, it's just authentically how I am. So I don't really put elbow grease into it. I like to say funny things, and I like to make Campbell laugh and like to make her feel good and make her friends and anyone around me feel good. So this is just how I am.
Yeah, he really has always been like my biggest fan. He's always been building me up and telling me I look beautiful. And I think I kind of like just, that was just normal for us. So when we put it out there and people were like, oh my God, why is this happening? I'm like, is that not, why does your husband not, make you feel good? Or like, are you not getting compliments? And that's how everyone should feel. Like everyone should feel beautiful and like, not have to beg for a compliment, and everyone should be able to be themselves. And
I love a compliment.
Yeah, no, I do too. Like my love language is probably words of affirmation. So I love the compliments, and I also like to give compliments too.
I don't get breakfast in bed. How do I convince Michael to give me breakfast in bed? I see you bringing her like donuts.
All kinds of things.
How do I manipulate that situation?
I don't allow people to eat in our beds.
I eat in the bed every night.
I don't care how good it makes
every
you
night.
feel.
I have
It's
to.
too,
We eat in bed.
So do I.
Yeah,
I don't know
the
what
crumb
he's talking
situation with me makes me a little bit neurotic. So
how do I get Michael to make me breakfast in bed on a tray?
I don't know if I can help you with that specifically, but I'm sure he makes you feel loved. I mean, well, I'm sure he does. You guys obviously have an incredible relationship and are so successful. I mean, another thing that we've been saying lately is authentically love out loud. Yeah, so I actually just did a TED Talk at Wharton and UPenn a couple weeks ago, and the subject of my talk was, in a world of fear and anger, authentically love out loud. Because that's what the world needs, both in our everyday personal interactions, which is what we put on video on social media, but also just in a very, very broad sense. The world, the media, can be a very dark place, filled with fear and anger. Like, the powers that be manipulate us because of our natural focus on negativity. Humans are naturally focused on the negative for survival instinct reasons. And so because of all that, the world can feel very dark, very angry, very fearful. And in that landscape, authentically love out loud. That's the anecdote. So that's what I would encourage Michael to do. Love her out loud.
That's really cute. I hope Michael's taking notes in his composition notebook. That's the name of your book, by the way, if you guys write a book. That's a great name. I'm curious to know what your childhood was like to make you so comfortable with loving out loud.
Yeah, that's really good, because I think you definitely learned from your grandfather.
Yes, exactly.
Who I thankfully met. He passed away.
He passed away late 2020.
2020, but I had never met a man like that. And I can tell immediately after I met your granddad that you got it from him.
Yeah, I mentioned this in my TED Talk. So my grandfather, Wayne Blackwood was his name. Wayne was the most masculine man I've ever known, just like old school Southern businessman, loved football, scotch, etc. And he and my grandmother were married for 63 years before he passed away. My grandmother Joyce is still alive, but yeah, Wayne passed away in 2020. And I watched him love her out loud for my entire life, because he loved her out loud for over 60 years. And he was extremely affectionate with her, and he encouraged me from the youngest age that, hey, with your girlfriend, with your wife, be very affectionate, be openly affectionate. To him, that was part of being a man, even though some people think that's the opposite of being a man. So yeah, he taught me, you can be a manly man and still, love your wife out loud. So
what about your parents? Did they do that too? Yeah,
my parents have a great marriage. They've been married for over 30 years. But Wayne was just very special.
Yeah, he did it in a way that he made me feel like so loved. And I was not from Georgia. I wasn't from the South. Like, he made me feel so loved and just welcome. And immediately I could tell that that's where he got it from.
And what about your parents?
Yeah, my parents were divorced
So
at
different.
a young age. So it was totally different.
Yeah.
And I was like, how is this it already? Like, how have I met my person at such a young age? But we literally were engaged within 10 months of knowing each other because it was fate, I think.
I actually think a lot of people get in trouble because, like, I have a lot of single guy friends now because many of them, and they're gonna know who. Some of them are gonna know who I'm talking about. They like set this number, like, when I'm 40, I will settle down. And I've seen some of these individuals meet I'm not in the relationship, but what I think would be a great match. But like, because they're so stuck on that number, they're like, I'm not settling down until I get to that age. Lauren and I, we've known each other since we were 12. We haven't been together that long, but since we were 20. And I caught myself because I always think my dad settled down later in life as well. And I was like, oh, maybe like this is too early for me. But I think that screws a lot of people up because it's like they've set this end destination and what they believe is the moment they should settle down. And then maybe they miss their moments or their person.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think
we've talked about that a lot.
picking an age would be the definition of insanity. Like, whenever you find your person, lock it down. Once you find your person, there's nothing to wait on. Like, form the union.
What did you say?
Yeah, when you reach the top of the mountain, just throw your flag down. But really, like, I mean, humans are meant to be together with their spouse, and when you can form, I don't even want to use the word partnership, it's a union. When you can form that union, it makes you a better person, makes them a better person, and you build the life you want together. The idea of, I'm going to build the life I want and then find the girl is total madness. Like, no, as soon as you find the spouse, lock it down,
Build that life together.
and then build the life you want together.
Which is what we really have done.
Yeah, no, and statistically, they show married couples and partners end up doing financially much better. And I've had a lot of friends, now that we have more children, you guys are now well on your way, like, people ask me, well, no, you have kids, are you going to slow down? And I found the exact opposite. It gives you even like more purpose and more reason to strive.
Yeah,
Except when you're
totally.
getting out the door, they do slow you down.
No, totally. Yeah, having kids makes you a better version of yourself, 100%.
I think what you said is so important to so many men. They think that you're supposed to get the success and then get the wife. And what I have found is a lot of high performers have the wife and then they build together, and that's even more meaningful.
Totally. Yeah, that's what Campbell and I have done. And I mean, I think she said earlier that it was fate that brought us together. We say it was divine intervention. We're very, very blessed to have met at such a young age. Sounds like you guys obviously are very blessed to have met at a young age too. It's so special because we've had this fairy tale for 10 full years.
But also, I think because we met at a young age, like, we were able to build this life together, and we do push each other to be better. We do push each other to be more entrepreneurial and to pursue our dreams, but also we're not competitive with each other. Like, we want each other to win. Like, when he wins, I win. When I win, he wins. And we're constantly like trying to make each other better. We're not competing against each other, especially in our careers.
Yeah, we feel like a lot of couples, especially power couples, like, compete with each other to some extent. That's just the opposite of us. Like, we don't even think of it as Jett and Campbell. It's just us together as a union.
I tell Michael that all the time. I'm like, let's always push the same boulder up the same hill, because you can get into something where there's separate boulders going up separate hills. And Michael always says this: someone wants to build a bakery and someone wants to build an empire of a bakery, and it's misaligned. It's out of alignment. How did you guys, and I'm sure you've told this story, but you have to just retell it in your way, meet? What was the day you guys met?
You want me to go or you go, Pookie?
You can go.
So yeah, I was in grad school in Philadelphia. So I was getting an MBA at Wharton and my law degree at UPenn Law. And Campbell was a flight attendant based in Philly at the time with American Airlines.
Smart.
And divine intervention put us together at Trio Wine Bar in Center City, Philadelphia. I just walked up to the prettiest girl at the bar, prettiest girl I'd ever seen. Introduced myself. We fell in love right away.
So cute.
Within 2 days, I knew that I was going to marry her. I mean, she literally just, I've always said, she looked like a princess, talks like a princess, even sleeps like a princess. Like, that's all exactly how I felt. That's exactly what I told everyone at the time. And then, I bought the ring after 6 months, gave it to her after 10 months in Hawaii. I told her I loved her for the first time in Paris, maybe 4 or 5 months after we met, shortly before I bought the ring. I mean, it's just been this fairy tale from literally the first date, all the way through today, 10 years later.
I think timing was everything for us. We really did. We met at the perfect time. Like, we were both really comfortable with ourselves. Like, we kind of like knew who we were as people. But like you said, you he kind of changed his mindset whenever we met and went from, oh my gosh, I need to, make my life fit this woman that I want to spend my life with, because I think you were on a little bit of a different path with your career.
Yeah, I mean, when I met Campbell, I was obviously in business school and law school. Like, I was probably going to end up in New York or Hong Kong or London a long time, like in private equity or investment banking or hedge funds or something like that. But as a guy trying to build that type of life, and then when I met her, instantly it's like, okay, well, all that matters is her and us together. And of course, I ultimately still went into finance and still had a great career in finance. But it's just different when you're approaching it from everything about your goals, your future plans, being about yourself, to being about you and your spouse together as a team. So yeah, mindset, immediately shifted to we're a union. Let's do this together.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. Is like the example earlier is like you can use that kind of fuel to service yourself for a long time, but over a long period of time, and a lot of guys don't like me saying this, it starts to become empty. Like you start to do all the things and you look around and you're like, okay, what else? Like how many fancy dinners, how many nice bottles of wine, how many nights out, how many different, like all the things.
Oh my God, my life would be so empty without
boring.
Campbell. Oh my God, yeah.
When I met Lauren and I lay, when I got back with her, she would lay next to me in bed and snore like a wildebeest, and it sounded like a chainsaw.
Mouth tape
and
changed
her
my
mouth
life.
would hang
and
open, and I stuck it through, and I feel like that says a lot.
I thought you were going to say you stuck it in.
I did do that as well. I did that as well.
That is, you know what? That's efficient for me because I'm sleeping. Whatever you got to do, I'm good with.
How old were you guys when you actually got together?
Well, funny enough, we got together when we were 12. I looked over. Maybe it's a little bit different story than yours, but I still think it's romantic.
Tell it compared
and
to Jett.
I saw a fully developed form set of breasts, and I was
fell in love with my tits.
And I thought she was the substitute teacher. And I had like a sixth grade girlfriend at the time. I said, listen, lady, like you got to go because I got to go there. And we got together and it was, I would say it was hot and heavy, fireworks. Her dad caught us in the closet, unclothed together at that age. And
we were very mature. At a very young age.
And then
very mature.
But joking aside, like there was always like, for whatever reason.
So y'all were somewhat of an item from 6th grade onward.
Yeah. And then we're not together in high school, not together in college. But like there was this thing where like we would sneak around. We'd see each other. We'd like, for whatever, like we both dated other people.
I used to be like, I'm coming over and then make him wait till 5 a.m. and never come.
But joking aside.
That works really well. They fall right in love with you.
Can't we used to wait hours to text me back?
Yes.
The first couple months.
I am being serious on some of the things I'm saying.
Talk about that.
But in all seriousness, like I was in love right away. And I chased her for a decade before she would, take me seriously.
So it was just after you guys finished college that you guys got together?
Right when unfortunately, we had a friend get severely injured taking drugs, like, a person that we knew very well. And so she was in another state. And what happened was he was in college with me. And when that happened, it kind of like created an opportunity. We were back together. It sounds kind of messed up, but all of a sudden we were in the same city together again. In a very tragic moment.
You gave me an ultimatum.
And we got back, but we've been together.
You said, this is the last time after 10 years I'm pursuing you. If you don't come to Vegas with me, then I'm never going to text you again.
So by that point, I had some options. I was like, listen, better get
I had
shit
some
together.
options too, though. Don't
get
it.
Get your shit together. I'm like, it's been 10 years. I feel like that's the cutoff. But I said, if we get together, like this is for good, for sure. And that we've been together ever since.
I woke up in Vegas with a pink tiara, sparkles all over on my head, with a bottle of pink sparkly wine next to Michael naked, and I was like, okay.
It's a similar love story to you guys. No,
we didn't have sex though.
Well, it's similar in the sense that you guys have been together off and on for a very, very long time, and that you knew deep down. I think you both did that, obviously, and you were each the one.
But to your point, I think when you find your person, and like joking aside, like I think I always knew that she was my person, if that makes sense. And so like I was laser focused. And when I feel bad now, and I've talked about this openly for years, like I would date other women, but I knew it was not that feeling. And so it was kind of these empty relationships, which were maybe unfortunate in some of the behaviors of the past and some of those conquests.
Another interesting thing is that you actually, ultimately, when you truly got together, was right around the same time we did, just after college. Like, again, I was in grad school, so I was 25, Campbell was 23. It sounds like pretty similar timing, actually. That's kind of an ideal time in a way. way.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're both like young adults and can truly start building your life together.
What were you doing career-wise at the time he comes up to you?
So that's when I was a flight attendant. So I went to college and then I moved to Philly. I was based in Philly with American, and I was a flight attendant.
Oh, I thought you said you were a flight attendant. She was
I was in business school. And
I
law
was
school.
confused when
I
you
would
said
have
that.
loved the story. If you
No,
were a flight attendant.
I thought you said I was in business school and law school and I was a flight attendant. And I thought
was.
And Campbell was a
you
flight
were a
attendant.
flight
Yeah,
attendant.
You're like, I was
Yeah.
doing multi-million-dollar
I know,
deals
I
and
was like,
moonlighting
geez,
as
you're
a flight
So
attendant.
no, I literally made no money. I had no money. I lived in a not so safe area,
She lived in
Philly.
West Philadelphia, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, West Philadelphia, born and raised. That's where she was living with two other flight attendants.
So
It
But
was
I had no money
scary.
either. I was a poor grad student.
Yeah, no, but I had free plane tickets.
that's fine.
And we took full advantage of those free plane tickets. We went to like 20 countries the first 18 months we were together.
We did.
That's
So
a
you-
total perk at that age. Like that sounds like the best
Absolute
perk.
idea. Like, yeah, I had my first choice job locked up like way in advance of graduation, so I had the time to do whatever. I had my signing bonus from work, so I had some cash, and then she had the free plane tickets. So yeah, it was quite a recipe, and we went to literally like 20 countries in 18 months.
So before we get into to your career and how it's sticky to me is like the right word, but before that, what did your life look like? Like what is your life look like before social media when you guys are a couple? I think people are curious about that.
We had,
I mean, it's not that different than what we show now, really. We've lived
No,
this
it
insane
isn't.
life the whole time.
but I mean,
Like,
really, when we were living in Philadelphia together, he didn't even have Instagram. Like he didn't even have an iPhone.
literally.
Literally, I had to drag him to Verizon to get him an iPhone.
Kinda
The
cool.
texts were green, like yeah. And
True, yeah.
I remember he posted like our first like official, photo, and I was like, yes, I won. Like, this is a huge accomplishment. But no, our time in Philly before we got engaged was like pure bliss. We
Oh my
talk
God.
about it now as like this was the best time of our life. Like it really was. Like even though we didn't have, all the things that we have now, it was such a simple life, and we enjoyed every second of it. Like we,
It's true.
slept in, like did everything together, like
Traveled
traveled the world together with, whatever little money we had, and it was incredible.
So at what point do you decide you want to go into social media?
Yes. So I had always kind of wanted to go into social media. My mom was in fashion, and I had always like wanted to start posting my outfits on Instagram. I was really nervous. I felt like people would judge me, and he really, really encouraged me to start posting. So in 2017, I told him, I kept talking about it, and he's like, if you don't do it, like I'm going to just post for you. So I started posting my outfits every day, and it kind of just took
That
off.
started in what, like 17?
2017, we got married in 2018.
But I mean, at a very small scale. Like, I mean, she built this, from
Well, yeah, everyone starts at
Yeah, of
small.
course,
Like you
yeah.
have to, you start with,
Nothing.
you have to start.
So after I finished grad school, we moved to New York to start my career on Wall Street. Then we moved to Houston, Texas, because I was doing oil and gas investment banking, M&A.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved to Atlanta. I guess it was around the time we moved to Atlanta. It's probably when you started posting your outfits and whatnot.
Yes.
And, she's making a little bit of money here and there. And then in 2020, and she was doing like random corporate jobs as well. And then in 2020.
Yeah, I got fired from a few jobs.
It's true. Pookie's not really employable.
You're an entrepreneur.
I didn't get
Yeah.
fired. I only got fired from one job.
So anyway, then in
It's okay. I'm not employable either. To be
Yeah.
honest.
And so then in 2020, we met another influencer, a girl named Chelsea, who had been very successful. She had already gotten to the point where she was making over $1 million a year as an influencer. This in 2020. And she identified us, I guess, from a distance and like kind of made sure to like meet us. And she like pulled us aside and was like, listen, like y'all are just like made for this. Like you have to like go full time with this. Forget about your corporate job, Campbell. Like go full time with social media. She was such a good salesman. She convinced both Campbell and me like, okay, yeah, Campbell, quit your job. Let's just do this full time. And immediately she was making like 3 to 5x from social media what she was from her corporate job. But
You bought into what I was doing. He
Definitely,
believed
yeah.
in me. If I didn't have him supporting me, it's not so easy to just, let me quit my job.
Yeah.
And, he had bought in. He believed in what I was doing. He saw that people, I was, gaining followers, gaining, business
Well, I
opportunities.
just knew she should be a star. I mean, yeah, she's just such an amazing person. And then
She does look like a Disney princess.
She is a
You
real life
mentioned that
Disney
earlier. Yeah, you
princess.
do look like a
Yeah.
Disney princess.
And so that started in 2020, but it was still all photo based.
Okay.
So to complete the story, so it's all photo based still on Instagram still. And then by the time we get to late 2023, she changed her life forever once again. She decided to shift her content from being mostly photos and mostly of herself and her outfits to then outfit videos of us together. And that combination of us on video together is what revealed our authentic love to the world, and it just instantly exploded. So that's late 2023. And the last 2 years of our life have obviously been a total blur.
So when the first time that you put him on, was the response crazy, or did it take time to have momentum?
So I would always post him on my stories. Like I would always post our, us like kind of like back and forth, or like him complimenting me or doing something nice for me. I would post on my story, but it would never make it to like my feed. And my followers would always be like, oh my God, like I want a man like that. Where do I get a man like that? Like he just loves you. And I'm like, I'm so lucky. He really does. But like, you deserve that love too. And I could tell that people were really picking up on it, and people were like really engaged with this content whenever I would show him. So I was like, we've got to get this out on my feed. Like we need to get this on TikTok. We need to get this in video format.
On Reels.
Because this is not something that was just like created for, social media. Like he's genuinely doing this stuff. Like we would go out to dinner, get dressed up, and he would be
the
like,
best stuff isn't even on camera.
Oh, wow.
No,
I don't know what that means. Are you guys going to release a little X-rated?
No, that would
No, I just mean like the compliments and all the things
Maybe.
I do for
Like,
her, like that's constant.
No,
like,
I will say when I walked in, I thought you were going to call her Campbell off air, and you called her Pookie. It was really cute.
I only call her Campbell when I'm mad at her.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you
that's
get
true.
mad at her for?
Yeah, what gets him mad?
Gosh.
That's a good question.
Not a lot anymore. It used to frustrate me how she always makes us late to everything because it takes her forever to get ready.
I was late.
But then years ago, I just totally gave up on being on time. I know that we're gonna be late to every single thing. Anyone that spends time with us, I mean, if it's business,
You guys were on time today.
if it's business, we'll be on time.
yeah.
Anything else,
Business.
we will never be on time. All our friends know that. Our family knows that. I know that. So I just don't let it bother me. What's funny is she still gets stressed out
I
about
do.
being late, and I'm
then I'm
well,
like,
there's clearly nothing that can be done about it, babe. So we just have to accept it.
I told Michael to get "Yes, dear" tattooed on his ass.
Of all the tattoos I have, that's like the one I would never see.
I know. Maybe you should put it on your forehead.
What do you think? I'm just standing in a mirror and bending over, looking at my ass all day?
I wanted "Yes, dear" on his ass. I agree. If you're dating someone who's late, there's nothing you can do. You just have to just
So I
be
accepted
stoic.
it years
No,
ago. I don't get mad anymore.
I'm not a quitter, Lauren. So
No, okay. Well, you should take
But
a
what's
tip.
funny is she'll get like mad and stressed out when she's making us late, and then she like, gets upset that I'm not mad and stressed out.
Yeah, I get mad that
And I'm
he's
just
not like.
Do you know what
well-
that's called? Emotional residency.
Yeah.
So
okay.
emotional residency is when you're upset and you want the person to match your emotion, and if they don't match it, you get even more upset.
That's
I- that's
exactly
me.
what she does
That's
every
me.
night as she's getting ready and making us
Well, because
late.
I
I'm just, like, sipping on
feel
the scotch.
bad. I'm like, I might be late, but I genuinely am sorry. Like, I feel guilt. He doesn't. He's like just.
But babe, there's just the laws of the universe, and Pookie can never be on time. So that's just the way it is.
That's
we
smart
also,
that he diffuses it.
We
how
also,
are you a flight attendant if you can't be on time?
Oh my God, she was the world's worst flight attendant. Oh, she would work like 3 days a month, call in sick, and then we fly to Paris the same day. Literally, she'd be like supposed to go to Cleveland. She'd call in sick, and then 2 hours later, we'd board a flight to Paris, fly first class for free.
I hope American.
That was our life for the first year and a half. Yeah.
They should put you in an ad. They should put you guys. Here's my pitch. Putting
That'll be
it
a
into
good
the
ad.
ether. It should be you two on first class flying to Paris and him serving you. You're the butler. Jett would do it. He's the butler. And they should do a whole ad around you guys because you used to be a flight
know.
attendant.
I don't know
concur.
why
Maybe
they haven't
Delta.
called
We fly
us.
Delta constantly. out of
Send
Atlanta.
them to me. I think that's an 8-figure deal.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I think so
concur.
too. We
Now it's official.
We
We
did-
get a vig on that. Yeah.
he would fly without me. So he is my registered companion. So if you know anything about flight attendants or the way it works, it's like you're registered.
dog.
You're registered
No, so your risk
companion.
gives you flight attendant status, even if you're
So
not
he
with
was
the actual
flying,
flight
like,
attendant.
without
So I could
me.
fly like first class to Hong Kong for free, even without her, and I did.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a good perk. Damn.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
I was working during that time. I mean, I was working while you were having fun in Hong Kong.
Wait a
You're
minute. They let
welcome.
you just, even if you're not with the companion, they let you just like jet around the world?
So you could, as a flight attendant American at that time at least, you could designate one person. It could be your husband, it could be your mom, whoever, as your registered companion, which gave them your same status, even if they weren't with you. Yeah.
It's like a total hack.
Anyway, that's all like 8 to 10 years ago, but yeah, it was amazing.
Because of your job, Jett, are you really good with the finance side and the operations and logistics? And has he been helpful to what you're doing with that?
Definitely. He's definitely the brains and all of this. I mean,
not the brains.
not the
I
brains,
just mean
but,
like, is
he
he is it sounds like you're really financially literate because of what you do.
Sure, yeah. So I do mergers and acquisitions. That's what I've done my whole career. And so I mean, when we first exploded like a year and a half ago, the first thing I was like, well, we got to find a team, and the first thing I needed was a lawyer. And so in all of these managers and agents in Beverly Hills and lawyers and PR firms, I mean, we're all calling us. I mean, I'm talking dozens of emails and phone calls. It was insane.
Sharks in these waters, buddy.
Yeah, and we had to navigate all that, navigate those waters, figure out, the first thing I wanted to do was hire the right lawyer. I wanted a lawyer that knew everyone so that she could help me vet everyone else as we built the team.
Smart.
Because we built an entire team within a couple of months of the explosion, but we were very, very selective. I mean, we literally interviewed every major talent agency, every management company, every PR firm, and you built the whole team. And so that was the first way when I really started, adding, my business background and expertise to this, because the first thing to do in any venture is to build the right team. No matter how talented or smart or hardworking anybody is as an individual, without a team, they're not going to be able to accomplish a lot. Humans have to collaborate. So we built an amazing team. And
we did that together.
We continued to optimize the team, over the last year and a half, and we really love the team we've built, and they're a huge part of our success.
And what do you focus on? Like, what I'm sure the audience would love to know things that they don't get to see on social media. What is your focus on, like content creation? What is your energy go?
My energy goes mainly to content creation. So
a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. We want to stay true to ourselves. We want to post content that is true to us, but we also want to post things that are trending or be in the know of what's happening. So my focus is really like kind of balancing how much content we put out that is sponsored content, our authentic content, original content, like trending topics type thing. So that's where a lot of my, day-to-day mind is going.
What would people be surprised to know about you too? Because I can tell, like, yes, you guys have put your relationship out there, but there's also a privacy, I'm sure, and there's stuff that's you guys keep sacred. What would people be surprised?
I don't know if they would be surprised. But like we spend every moment together.
I don't think that would surprise anyone.
Okay. I don't know if that, like, is that a secret?
Based on what I've heard in a short amount of time.
We spend a lot of moments together.
We're like, so he went to go get something the other day from CVS, and he was like, I could tell he wanted me to come with him.
Oh no, that's not that. Wow. Okay.
And
I'm not going to
I
CVS.
was like-
It was probably the first time that we'd been apart for even like an hour and like over a week, probably.
Yeah.
Like we're together
Love a little codependency.
constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys like to be together.
I mean, I
though.
wouldn't even say it's a dependency thing. It's just that we love being together. I mean,
I think that is the key to marriage. What you just said. I like to be around my husband. So I remember early on in our relationship when I was like 21 and 22, I would get invited to like girls' sleepovers or like bachelorette parties or whatever. And I didn't want to go. I like sleeping next to Michael. Even when we were dating, like I just like to be with him.
of course.
And I think sometimes there's relationships, and I'm sure you guys have seen this, where people don't like to be together. They might like the idea of marriage or to say their marriage, but they don't like each other.
Oh, it's so sad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And we have actually we love being together, and we've really made a conscious effort to put people in our life that want to be together, that are couples. And that is so important, especially when you are looking for the right person, like kind of associating yourself with couples that like being together, that aren't talking about each other behind their back. Like
I don't let her go hang out with girls that complain all the time. And I say that like I know that's
He
like a
doesn't
lot
either.
of women don't like
Yeah,
hear that.
I recently really
I got no patience for it. I'm like, if you want to go hang out with the gals that are clucking about how terrible their husbands are, like can't do it. And I don't put my foot down on a lot of things because I don't want that. And vice versa. Imagine I'm going and hang out with a bunch of guys like, hey, let's go like find some other women and like screw your wife. Like I don't like that energy. It's just
I agree.
like whenever I see couples doing that, I'm like, well, listen, like you're around a bunch of people that hate their marriages and hate their spouses and don't want to be around. They're complaining all the time. It's not healthy.
It's not
and like
healthy.
it maybe sounds sexist saying that, but like I don't allow that energy in the marriage.
Whether it's bad energy coming from a girl or from a guy, either way, you don't want that bad energy in your life. Like we've made a huge effort, especially recently. Same deal. Like I put my foot down, and then she totally agreed, and we have again as a union, we are not going to have any bad energy in our life. Whether it doesn't matter if it's a guy or a girl, whatever, the couple, doesn't matter. We cut out all bad energy from our life. We don't care how successful somebody is. We literally don't care if they're a billionaire. It doesn't matter. If they're bad energy, they're not in our life, period.
By the way, even in the company, I tell people in this culture all the time, I said, like, I don't care how high of a performer someone is. If they're constantly complaining, constantly negative, constantly undermining people, like, they got to go. Like, I don't care if they're the best salesperson or the best producer in the world. Like, they can't be in the they can't be
it
in the
literally
company.
impacts your mental health to be around that negative energy, and then ultimately it impacts your physical health.
Let's take a quick break for me to introduce you to one of my favorite new discoveries, and that is Astral Tequila. Astral is my go-to tequila right now for margaritas, and it doesn't just taste good, it does good too. Every single bottle of Astral Tequila helps build homes for families in need in Jalisco, Mexico. And after making the tequila, they upcycle leftover agave fibers into adobe bricks used to build homes in their community. How cool is that? So when you're sipping on a margarita, you're also supporting a good cause. My typical go-to tequila is their Reposado. I think it's phenomenal. This one comes with a Michael engraved bottle to make me feel even extra special. But if you're looking to make margaritas, many people like to use the Blanco tequila, which is more traditional. And of course, if you want a nice sipping tequila, the Añejo, which you can never go wrong with. My personal favorite margarita recipe is what I call the 3-2-1. It's a very traditional margarita. You take 3 parts of the Blanco or the Reposado, maybe even once in a while the Añejo, and you did 3 parts of the tequila, then 1 part of Cointreau. So maybe you did 1.5 ounces of the Blanco, 1 ounce of Cointreau, not triple sec, and then 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. It has to be fresh lime. Sometimes you can add a little simple syrup if you want, maybe do a little half rim of salt. That is the perfect margarita. That is my specific margarita. That's the go-to. So I would definitely try that with the Blanco to start, and then maybe the Reposado if you're feeling a little frisky. So check them out. Astral is definitely my favorite discovery of the year. Please enjoy responsibly. Astral Tequila, 40% alcohol per volume, Diageo, New York. Enjoy. Let's talk about Armra Colostrum. Ever since Lauren and I had the founder of Armra on this podcast and discovered the incredible benefits of Armra Colostrum, we have not been able to stop talking about it. We live in an environment our biology was never designed for. EMFs, artificial light, seed oils, microplastics, endocrine disruptors, chronic stress, you name it, it is bombarding our systems. These modern assaults disrupt cellular signaling, negatively impacting gut health and accelerating aging, which nobody wants. Armra Colostrum revives cellular signaling, bolstering our health from within to defend against everyday threats. Colostrum is also nature's first whole food with over 400 bioactive nutrients that work at the cellular level to reactivate your body's innate capacity to regenerate and thrive. Can't believe I got that all out in one mouthful. So if you're ready to reclaim your health, you got to check out Armra Colostrum. The way that Lauren and I like to enjoy it is it comes in these big jugs. You can either dump the powder into a beverage, scoop it directly into your mouth. It tastes a little bit like a milk dud. They also come in travel packets, which we take when we're on the go. So if you're looking for that convenience, maybe you want to bring it to the office, to the airport, to a workout, you can enjoy that as well. We give it to our dogs, we give it to our children, we take it ourselves, and we have noticed great benefits. So whether you're looking to strengthen your immune system, fortify your gut health, ignite your metabolism, vitalize hair growth, enhance your skin radiance, or fuel performance, Armra Colostrum has you covered. And of course, we've worked out a special offer for our audience. Receive 15% off your first order. All you have to do is go to tryarmra.com/skinny or enter skinny to get 15% off your first order. That's tryarmra.com/skinny. This episode is sponsored by Active Skin Repair, a skin health company helping people heal with natural, non-toxic medical grade ingredients. Ever since we had the founder of Active Skin Repair on this podcast, we have absolutely fallen in love with this product. So many petroleum chemical products are out there, and we've used them in the past for skin issues, for cuts, for eczema, for all sorts of things. And it wasn't until we discovered Active Skin Repair that we realized there was a healthier, better, and more effective alternative. Active Skin Repair is all we use in our house now. What Active Skin Repair does is utilizes a molecule called hypochlorous acid. When applied to the skin, the molecule works by mimicking the natural immune response to cleanse, soothe irritation, reduce inflammation, and support healing. Active Skin Repair can be used for such a wide variety of skin issues, including cuts, scrapes, burns, sunburns, rashes, and other types of skin damage. It is also considered safe and non-toxic, making it suitable for all skin types, all parts of the body, and even rosacea, eczema, and acne-prone skin. For the skin health fans out there, it can also be used as a facial toner to eliminate bacteria and optimize skin health. This is how Lauren and I use it. We use it for our children when they get cuts, for scrapes. We use it to clean wounds. It is in our cars. It is in our vanities. It's all over the house. You can put it on dogs' paws, everywhere. With over 500,000 happy customers, thousands of 5-star reviews, and ingredients so safe and clean they can be used from the youngest member of the family to the oldest, you now have one simple solution for all your family's skin health needs. So check them out. Visit www.activeskinrepair.com to learn more about Active Skin Repair and get 20% off your order by using code SKINNY.
I think that they always say, like, protect your peace. I think if you decide to get married, you have to protect your marriage. And we had this girl on that was like, oh, I'm divorced now. And we talked to her about, before she got divorced. And she said she was hanging out with all of these women that would sit around and complain about their husband. And it does rub off on you. And my thing is, if you're going to complain or cheat on your spouse, you're sure as hell going to do it in other areas, and you're sure as hell out of integrity in other areas. If I hear someone complaining about their spouse to me, they're going to turn around and talk shit about me. Like, I just feel like there's a lot of like synergistic traits in that.
Totally agree.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, we want to be around people that we make them better and they make us better.
Yes.
And that's
like you leave dinner feeling like
energized.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, let's do that next week.
And we're blessed to have, a lot of amazing friends that do that for us, and we do that for them. I mean, it needs to be a two-way street. Like, we collectively all make each other better. No different than Campbell and I make each other better.
I mean, listen, when Lauren and I got together and we got serious and I've been young, like, I have to be okay that I'm not getting invited on all the crazy guys trips any longer. And I'm not out to go and have the guys night maybe once in a while, but a lot of my friends that haven't been able to like let go of that, if they've gone into marriage, it's made it really difficult. It's like you're not going to see me out at 2 a.m. at a bar without my wife. Like, it's a really difficult strain to put on any relationship. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like if you just saw me wandering around a bunch of nights a week out in nightclubs without my wife, you're like, well, that's a weird look. It's a little suspicious, right? And same thing with her. Like, if you're out all the time with the girls, just like slamming wine at the wine bar, and you're like not with your husband.
You know where you will find me though? Out perusing around the foot spa.
Oh, and I forgot. Like,
no, I was gonna think like Hermes or Chanel.
No, the foot spa.
And no more lunches at the strip club. Like, that can't happen.
There's no more. There's no more.
They did have
sandwiches.
a great steak.
I'm sorry, you'll have to give that up. What advice would you guys give to someone who wants to launch today? Because it's a different time. What would you guys say?
What do you mean by launch?
Launch an Instagram, post their husband, post content. I feel like you guys are really great people to ask. If someone's going to launch an Instagram or a TikTok right now, what are the tips?
I mean, it needs to be as authentic to you as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of common sense, but it really does. Like, you're going to get burnt out so fast if you're not super passionate about what you're posting, and that you feel good, and that people like get that it makes you feel good and it makes them feel good. They're going to keep coming back for more if they can tell that it's really resonating with you and you're passionate about it. So I would say be passionate about it and be authentic, and also be consistent. Like, you really need to kind of just run with it. Try different things. Post every day. See what works. But you have to be passionate about it.
It's funny. We had a guy on Happiness come on the podcast, Arthur Brooks, and he said that women want adoration and men want admiration. And when talking to you guys, that's exactly what you guys do.
Yes.
I don't even know if you knew that, but you give her
I'm familiar
adoration
with that concept,
and you give him
I agree
admiration.
I agree that concept is true, and I agree that Campbell and I definitely do that for each other.
Yeah, he said that's the key to
happiness. Women want to be adored, men want to be admired, 100%.
If anyone is in the bathroom with their spouse, turn it up when I just said that. Put it real loud on speaker so they can take a hint.
Yeah, but it's the biggest thing that we got from him is that it's a two-way thing. Like, you cannot adore her if she does not respect and admire you, and you don't want to be adored by someone that you don't respect. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And so what happens is that he was saying it's like this downward spiral. It's like you stop adoring her, you stop admiring him, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse, and people dig in further and further and further.
Yeah, I mean, he is
Absolutely.
the best man I know.
Oh,
He really is.
Well, you're certainly the best woman I know.
oh my! They just did.
And now it's your turn.
My husband is a hot hunk with a big personality.
And I'm still getting it on this far into the pregnancy.
I don't. It's like a whale. It's interesting. The first pregnancy, isn't it, Jett?
It definitely didn't slow him down.
It was great. No, it was great. The first few months in particular were amazing. And then towards the end and all the way, post pregnancy, like it just made her body even hotter.
Oh.
No, it really did. I actually, for years I would tell her, and I meant it, and it's absolutely true. For years, I would say how excited I was for her post pregnancy body.
He always said that, and I was like, "What do you mean?"
Like he means like curved Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah, exactly.
But men like a little badunk-a-dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
they like something to hold on to.
So for years, I've been excited about the post pregnancy body, and all my dreams have come true.
I'm so happy your fairy tale is happening for you.
I don't know how I feel about you using the term badunk-a-dunk.
Is that the wrong term?
I just don't know. I feel like, I don't know, it just sounded strange.
Okay,
but
well,
I get what you're saying.
Some cushion for the pushing.
Something to hold on to,
With how
just
you...
in case you're getting wild and you almost fall off, you need something to grab right onto. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, you got something to grab onto right now. Let me tell you. It's
we're having fun. It's
Do you know I made him wear the pregnancy suit?
He hasn't done that.
You should do
I
it.
don't even know what that is.
It's like you can order it, and it's like a 50-pound pregnancy suit.
It's not that hard, to be honest. It's pretty
You
easy.
could do it
50 pounds?
maybe 40. I gained 60 pounds my first pregnancy, so he got
you
out.
only gained, like 25 pounds?
No, you more than that.
You don't need to know how much she gained.
She didn't gain it.
When they weigh me, I'm like, get the fuck out to him. I'm like, get out. I'm like, I gained a pound in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
All right. Comments. So you guys get tons of comments. People are so engaged. How do you guys deal with negative comments? Do you guys not even look at it?
So it's a good question because this applies this applies way beyond social media. Like any form of success, whether it's business success, athletic success, it doesn't matter what type of success. You're gonna attract super lovers and super haters, and it's just a sign of your success. So that's the first thing to keep in mind. And then, like Joe Rogan for years would say, don't read the comments, kids. I think we kind of started out mostly not reading it. Then I went through a phase where I felt like I could learn from the comments. Like I could get a sense of like what they want to see next or like play off things that were in the comments. You could even like get ideas from it. So there was a time when I was doing that, and there was definitely some truth to that. I think now we're at a stage where we just kind of laugh at the negative comments and how ridiculous they are. They pretty much all stem from a place of jealousy. Again, that's just part of being successful in any endeavor.
I wouldn't trade my life for anyone else's. And I think if somebody feels that way about you, like there's something wrong with them internally. They have an internal problem if they have something negative to say about someone they don't know. So
it is wild, some of the things they come up with, which again are hilarious in some cases. But with just totally made up rumors that they're there's that 1% troll or whatever, 0.1% troll, but it's just funny that they will come up with very specific things to say that we find hilarious that are obviously not true, but it's just like, wow, how did you come up with that idea to be your troll comment?
Yeah, I used to do the same thing. Like in the early days of this show, I used to go in and read something like, I wonder, like, there's some constructive stuff there, maybe an idea, like same thought process.
Right.
Now, like, you can't, because there's just so much bullshit out there and gibberish and incoherent thought processes, and it just, what I realize is it really if you're thinking about that stuff too constantly and you're paying too much attention, it really takes you out of what you really need to be focused on, which is putting out useful content or information or things that serve the people that are actually there. And to your point, you're never, like, no matter what you're doing online, if you put yourself out there in any way, there's always going to be a segment of people that are upset. And we had who was it we had Pierce Morgan on yesterday. He's an interesting character, and he was saying
We saw him yesterday.
We saw him yesterday.
Yeah.
We should have all sat down and had a souffle together. That would have been interesting.
But he was saying, like, 20% of the world is on these platforms, and then 10% of that are the ones that are actively engaged, and it's typically the loudest, most angry 10%. And you just got to, like, kind of keep that in context, where if you walk around in the streets like normal people and just say hello to regular people, most people are very pleasant and very happy and very kind, and have good intentions. And so you just kind of like have to have that perspective. Like you have to keep in mind, like, what kind of individual is spending their time going and yelling at strangers. Like it's just
1,000%.
if you saw,
wild
it's
to
wild.
think about. I mean, I have never made a negative comment on anyone's social media post in my life.
I
From,
like, I wanted,
middle
who
school
are
through
these?
now.
Who are
Like,
these
why
people?
would anyone do that? It's
imagine
so
if you
wild.
were in the Beverly Hills Hotel enjoying your souffle as you were, and I popped in out of nowhere, was like, "You have no fucking furniture." You'd be like, you would look at like somebody would come and arrest me and take me to an asylum. You know what I mean? Like it's insane behavior.
crazy.
Yeah, I think the reason they make some of their troll comments so specific is because the troll thinks that people are more likely to believe it if it's a very specific thing. And it's just so twisted that that's the way they think. But yeah, I think as we're saying, I think you mostly ignore it. And then if you do see a negative comment, just laugh about it.
It's also like we meet so many people in person, and it is the best part of what we do.
They're all nice.
They are
Oh my
the
God, it's
nicest.
crazy.
Literally, I was just in the bathroom.
So cute.
I had 2 girls say that I inspired them to be a working mom. And it's literally going to make me cry because they're so nice.
It is
like,
nice.
They're
Oh,
so
yeah.
nice.
I mean, literally in person, 99.9, maybe even 0.99. And I mean that literally. I think in like the last 2 years of all the thousands and thousands of people we've met, there's maybe been like 1 or 2 negative interactions.
Yeah.
Like
That's so
it is over
cool.
99.9% positive. And yeah, they literally
say the nicest
they literally
things,
make
and
us
it
cry
gives-
sometimes. They often cry. I mean, it is incredible.
Yeah.
They say that we give them inspiration to find the type of love that we have, or hope to build the type of love that we have, or they say that we make their day or we make their spouse's day. It is unreal, and some of them get really over the top with it, but it can make our day sometimes.
It's the best part of what we do because when you're out in public, you can really see how much of an impact you're making like on someone's life.
Yeah, 'cause
and
that's
that
our
means
goal.
everything to us.
Well, I will tell you, I told you this, the whole office in Austin and Los Angeles were so excited that you guys were coming in. It's, it's not
Very excited.
There's
Like
a
the-
lot of different people that come in and out of here, not
Right.
for just our show, for all the shows. And you guys were quite the hit.
No, and like as I've gotten to know both of you here in this short period of time, like I like what you're doing a lot because to your point in the very beginning of the conversation, there's a ton of negativity. You don't have to search for it. It's readily available for anyone that opens any kind of screen on any kind of platform. And I think what our experience has been, especially doing the show and talking to as many people as we had, like most people are good people with good intentions that want to put good things into the world. And that's the high majority of people that we meet out when we're running around. And I think it's a good thing to kind of bring that kind of stuff to attention and kind of minimize some of the negativity out there because it's readily available. But I do think it is the minority of people that think that way and want to live that way.
Yeah, I mean, as I said at the beginning, like we as humans are just like biologically programmed to focus on the negative because it used to be a survival instinct. Otherwise, you'd literally get eaten by a tiger or starve to death, in the early days. But because of that, like the media of all kinds, whether it's a newspaper, whether it's a magazine, whether it's a major broadcast news network, or whether it's social media, they all prey on our negativity bias, is what it's called. They use our negativity bias to addict us, to drive up viewership. They've done it for literally thousands of years. That's what the media has always done. But you're right, that makes it seem like the world is this extremely negative place, but it's actually just because it's a manipulation technique that magnifies the negativity and addicts us to the negativity. And in that landscape, we are a source of positivity and love and family values, and we authentically love out loud, and that's what makes us stand out.
Right.
Because in the media landscape, broadly speaking, and the social media landscape specifically, either way, it's a negative landscape, and us loving authentically out loud is a bright light, and that's what makes us unique, different, and that's what makes us successful. I think a lot of times you need to focus on whatever it is that makes you unique, whatever you're doing, whether you're an investment banker, whether you're a social media star, it doesn't matter. Like find something that you do uniquely, something that's unique about you, and like use that unique element to your advantage.
And yeah, that's what we hear when we meet people in person too, is like this content made them feel good. It made them feel happier.
Yeah.
And that is what keeps me going. That's what makes me
That's
feel
our
good.
purpose.
That's my purpose.
Do you know
too.
what made me happy? When you pushed out a baby and there was a big orange box waiting for you. If anyone's looking for any ideas,
I do like to give Pookie gifts.
Yes, I like to receive gifts.
I
too.
do want you to wrap it in cellophane because I get nervous about the hospital.
Oh.
I like get nervous about the germs, but you could take some inspiration.
You got enough
Yes.
fucking orange boxes.
I noticed your mess bag when you walked in.
Mhm. Yeah, we have matching over
So
there.
I'm sure you got plenty of them.
If I hit the wrong switch in the house, an orange box flies and hits me in the face.
It's
I
an
like-
but I still
investment.
keep mine.
But he still
Okay.
gets mine.
Let me
It's
tell
an
you something about
No,
that.
It
I
is.
concur.
He totally
Especially with certain
agrees.
brands.
Okay.
I concur.
Let
She
me
has
tell you something about these
plenty more to
investments, though. That
It is
these
an investment.
they're investments if eventually you sell them.
Right. They're never getting
this
sold.
is my plan. I'll expose my plan. I want to get as many as possible, so in case you die, I'm dead serious. I swear to God. Everyone thinks I'm joking
like your
when I
insurance
say
policy?
this. I'm dead serious. In case something happens to you, I have all my little, like a squirrel collects acorns. That's one of my little acorns.
If all of a sudden the orange
the
box
Birkins.
market gets flooded with things, you'll know I'm gone. You'll know I'm finished.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I often
It's
refer
not a
to
bad
her
plan.
Hermes bags as stranded assets.
Yeah.
That's the technical term in the finance world, a stranded asset, meaning
yeah,
it will
it's
never be sold.
never getting sold.
You know what I think? I've like analyzed it. I think that the comments that you guys are getting are because there is some people that are unhappy in their own marriage and they're just like projecting that onto you because they see a happy marriage. That's where I would think they're coming from.
That's definitely where some of it comes from, and just jealousy in a broader sense, whether it's because of our lifestyle, whatever it is. I mean, I think it's mostly irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think that like maybe people don't believe that we're really in love. Like maybe that's what maybe that's what they feel. But like, it's
I hate to break it to your Reddit. They're in love. They're in love. Everyone on Reddit, I'm seeing them in person. I saw them off. They're in love.
Yeah, we're totally obsessed.
Yeah.
Like,
We're in love, and again, we really feel that our purpose is to put our love into the world
It is, our
as inspiration for others. Like we want to have a positive impact on the culture. When I see whether social media stars or musicians or whatever, any famous person, like we all collectively help shape the culture, and I want. To the extent that we can, I want to positively shape the culture, positively shape it, make it something we're proud of, create a media landscape that we all want our kids to grow up in.
We also want to encourage people to be in love.
Yeah.
Like
to get married and to have kids. I mean, we want to positively shape the culture. It's love, positivity, and family values. And to us, family values means that it's no longer you and her; it's you together as a union. And that's exactly what we want to put out into the landscape.
You know what a beauty hack is? A real beauty hack is fixing the water that you shower with. This has been a total upgrade for me. So I got a filtered shower head and it removes chlorine and heavy metals. And it's the only lab tested and clinically trialed filtering shower head on the market. And it is by Jolie. Jolie is a beauty wellness company that purifies the water that we shower in. It literally makes you have better skin, hair, and overall well-being. And this is really cool. I think this is amazing. It's clinically proven to reduce hair shedding in 81% of people. It's lab tested to reduce hair frizziness by 40%. It also helps you maintain color retention, which is serious for me because I do dye my hair like a chocolate brown. My normal hair is like, it's brunette, but it's not as chocolate brown as it is right now. So I want to maintain that. And it also protects the hair's surface layer. It's so crazy when you learn about how chlorine is added to our water system. It's basically to disinfect and kill bacteria, but it's really damaging for the hair and skin. So Jolie fixes that. They have beautiful, sleek designs. It's the perfect combination of form and function. Jolie will give you your best skin and hair guaranteed. Head to jolieskinco.com/skinny to try it out for yourself with free shipping. And if you guys don't like it, you can return your Jolie for a full refund within 60 days. No questions asked. Real. Oh, it's so good. I am warning you right now. If you go on and shop at The Real, you are going to find something. It is attainable luxury and it upgrades your personal style. So not only do I personally shop on this site, I sell on this site too. So I just know how amazing it is. I've done resale on their site for a really long time and it's so seamless and they're just so specific about the pieces that they have. So they have Gucci, Fendi, Prada. And unlike other resale sites, everything on The Real, everything they sell is authenticated in person. So everything is authenticated by luxury and fashion experts. They're very detailed about it. It's also great for the planet because rather than producing more stuff, The Real makes what already exists new. I have found so many incredible pieces on this site. I got this little Hermes vest and I got it for a real steal on their site. It's gray. It's so cute.
The RealReal is the world's largest and most trusted resource for authenticated luxury resale. With thousands of new arrivals daily, no one does resale like The RealReal. And now you get $25 off your first purchase when you go to therealreal.com/skinny. That's therealreal.com/skinny. You get $25 off. Start shopping now at therealreal.com/skinny.
Quick break to talk about Beam Dream Powder. I have said for years now on this show that if there was only one thing I could do to change my overall health and wellness, it would be sleeping. Sleeping better, sleeping more effectively, and getting the proper amount of hours every night for sleep. This is why I'm so excited to talk about Beam Dream Powder. When I was living in LA, I was not sleeping nearly as well as I sleep now. I've done so many things to clean up my sleep hygiene. And back when I was struggling to figure out how to sleep better, I was looking for the perfect supplement. That's when I found Beam Dream Powder. And let me tell you, it changed everything. Dream is an all-natural sleep blend with science-backed ingredients like reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling refreshed. This is so important. If you get proper sleep, you're going to have more energy, you're going to get better workouts, you're going to think better, you're going to be more effective, your hormones are going to be balanced. There is such a plethora of evidence showing that if you can change your sleep, you can change your life. And the results speak for themselves. Beam has improved over 17.5 million nights of sleep, and 92% of users surveyed reported better sleep and waking up refreshed. So check them out. You can't go wrong. Plus, for a limited time, Beam is giving our listeners their best offer yet, up to 40% off. Try their best-selling Dream Powder and get up to 40% off for a limited time. All you have to do is go to shopbeam.com/skinny and use code skinny at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/skinny and use code skinny for up to 40% off. That's shopbeam.com/skinny and use code skinny for up to 40% off.
This episode is brought to you by Lauren Bostic Times Bumpsuit. I am so excited for this collab. It's my first collab I've done underneath my name. You can go to bumpsuit.co and you just click the Lauren Bostic Times Bumpsuit, and it is my curated edit. Here's what I would tell you have to look at. There is a support waist trainer that is literally amazing. So I'm going to be wearing this right after I give birth. It is so good for the compression and postpartum recovery. I am such a big fan of belly binding after I give birth. I feel like it supports my posture and helps my uterus go back sort of like into place. And this support waist trainer works. I used it with Towns. It's absolutely amazing. You feel like a superhero with this compression waist trainer. So definitely get that. I have it in black. It's also on my page. And then whether you're pregnant or not, they have the best of the best jumpsuits. I've been wearing them with all 3 of my pregnancies. The one that I would recommend is in my curated edit. It's the unitard. It's true to size. It's flattering. It's chic. It's elevated. It's amazing. It looks good with a jean jacket. It looks good with a leather jacket. It looks good alone. It's such a good one to have for working out, or if you're a mom or postpartum, or if you're pregnant. This is a brand that I've wanted to collab with for probably like 5 years. So go on and shop my 2 edits. There's kits with Skinny Confidential product in it, and then shop that waist trainer. And I'm telling you, grab the jumpsuit. You will not be sorry. You can go to bumpsuit.co and use code skinny for 15% off. That's bumpsuit.co, code skinny for 15% off. How has your life changed since you guys had a baby and became parents? What's the differences?
We love it.
Better.
You love it.
We're so happy.
And does the baby go with you? Are you posting her on social
yeah, she's
media
here
a lot?
now.
How do you think about all of this?
It's a lot for sure.
Yeah.
I think we didn't really know how we would, share her. And I think that's just always going to be evolving.
Yeah.
But she's a part of our family and she's everything to us. So we're obviously going to share her, but we definitely have to balance that properly. And, we don't want to only share her, or we want to, make sure she fits into our life, and we want her to travel with us. Like, we want her to be
She's the ultimate travel
growing.
companion.
And yeah, she really is the ultimate travel companion.
Yeah, she's with us right now in LA, and we took her to Aspen a couple months ago, and she's just so warm and so cuddly. And I mean, literally on the flight out here to California, I held her for the entire 4.5 hour flight, and it just made the flight.
She
for
didn't
me.
make a peep.
She's a very well behaved baby, and she's like the happiest baby. She just smiles and
She's
laughs.
so happy.
And
Guys, come back on
cuddles.
the podcast in 2 years.
Yeah.
Enjoy this phase.
Yeah.
They
Around
lay
the-
there.
time.
They lay there. In 2 years. No, but a boy is
No, but around
gnarlier than a girl.
18 months, the the flying gets interesting.
I'm sure.
I want to report after that.
Oh, I'm sure. We're taking advantage of this
Hey,
special time now.
This is actually a really fun stage. I personally am very excited to have a newborn, and it's so fun because they just chill.
So your
It's
first
amazing.
two are what genders?
I have a girl, just like you guys first, and then a boy. And I would say the girls, this is my experience, are more complex. So the hair has to be a specific angle, and the bow has to be like this color. The outfits are a big deal, and then a boy is like really a presence. It's lumbering, but they're like more simple. So it's a bull in a china shop. So it's different.
I think we gotta take offense to that, right, Mike? What do you mean we're more simple?
Oh, you guys
I'm
are.
just kidding.
I am
I'm
so
just kidding.
complex, Lauren. I have
Whatever.
real thoughts and feelings, and
How are you guys dealing with the fame that's come along with this? When you guys are out to eat and people are coming up to you,
screaming at you about your one car.
No one's saying. I don't think anyone's saying negative in person. How are you guys dealing with just like you're getting recognized all the time?
Yeah, I mean, like Campbell said earlier, in a lot of ways, it's the best part of it. I mean, certainly it can feel overwhelming at times, but we're very grateful for it.
Yeah.
I mean, when we walk into a hotel lobby or down the street or in a restaurant, like, yeah, we have all these people coming up to us,
That's
but
cool.
literally 99.9% of it is unbelievably positive. Like things you could just never imagine that someone would say to you.
Yeah.
And the
I
fact
mean,
that that's now our everyday is just so special. We're so grateful. And it's evidence that we are positively impacting the culture, which is exactly what we want. We want to be a source of love for people and happiness for people and also family values. And our viewers appreciate that about us. And as do our peers in the industry, when we, as I'm sure it happens with you guys, like once you get into this space, you start to meet all your peers in this space. And they all really recognize and appreciate that about us. And we're very grateful for the impact that we're able to have.
the fact that people would come up to me and say that I'm a positive role model for them is something that I never would have thought that would come from this. And so I take pride in that. Like I feel like I have something to, live up to, and that I have kind of just a different role than I ever thought that I would have in social media world, and that people look up to me and say that they want to be like me or, have a child like mine is something that's really endearing. And I definitely take pride in that. So being able to hear that in person is just like the best part of all of this.
It sounds like you get a lot of purpose from what you do.
I do.
Yeah,
I
you can
really
tell.
do. From
can
being a
tell.
mom, and also from sharing our love and meeting people and telling us what an impact we've made on
Yeah,
their
I mean,
life.
I think if you have real purpose in what you do beyond just the money and the fame, and again, doesn't matter what type of career you have, if you have purpose in it, you're likely going to be better at that career and you're going to enjoy it a lot more. So yeah, we're very blessed that we have what we think is a very high purpose to be a source of love and to help positively shape the culture and promote family values and people getting married and having kids. And none of it's in your face. It's just our authentic life. But by putting our authentic life out there, all those things come with it. And we're very, very proud of that purpose, and we're very conscious of it.
What I think is so interesting is Michael and I have interviewed a lot of different people, and I've never heard someone come on and say, we're promoting the specialness of marriage, and we're promoting love, and we're like sort of that's like the message. I think that's really interesting and really cool. People would be mad if I didn't ask beauty, hair,
Oh, that's
diet,
far away.
secrets. You look amazing. Give us like
Yes, Jett, get
give
into
us
it.
some
No.
of your
Well, lots of
Jett,
Mexican
what's on your
food and
skin?
waffles.
So Jett and I are both mouth tapers.
Okay.
We love
That's
it.
recent, but
That's
we are.
more
yeah.
recent, but now
Okay.
we don't go to bed without mouth tape.
I have some mouth tape for you guys. It's pink. Sorry,
Perfect.
Jett.
No, I've actually used yours before.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Doesn't matter to me what color it is.
I
That's what's
might
to work.
need a picture of him in the mouth tape. I'm sorry. You might have to capture that.
I don't
when
know
he's
about
sleeping.
that one, but no, I have your. I have
He
yours. Yours was
does.
actually the first one I ever used.
It will go with your shirt.
Yeah.
will.
Yeah,
It
it's
will.
cute how
It'll
you
look
wore
good.
baby.
Because when we first got into that, she had some of yours, and
Yeah, I
so
use
that's
it.
what I started out with.
It works.
Yeah.
What other than mouth tape? What else?
I love to sauna.
Okay.
So we have a new sauna at our house. I love it.
Infrared or barrel?
It's
It's a traditional Finnish sauna. Yeah,
Okay.
we have a sauna and cold plunge. I cold plunge every day. I can't get her into cold plunging,
I
but she
won't.
saunas with me.
I think that it's funny. It's kind of hard after birth to get cold. It feels like off-putting.
I am so cold natured as a person. Like I'm rarely sweating. And I'm cold before I even get in the cold plunge. That's why I can't do it. He's like,
That's
just
your
do
BS
it.
excuse, babe.
And I'm
You
like,
should just
I'm
do
like
it.
free. I'm like shivering outside of the cold plunge. Like, how could I get in? I'm already cold.
All right, but anyway, sauna. Keep going.
Sauna. I love Pilates.
Okay.
I do yoga, Pilates. I'm just easing back into it now. So I've really, really given myself grace since I've had my baby. And I think it's so hard. There's so many opinions on like when you should get back into working out, and I've really given myself grace. And I will say he has been so supportive of that and just made me feel so good in a time where your body is just not the same. And it can be
actually
hard.
even better, but yeah. I mean, something that
I'm like, I need to lose 15 pounds.
Something that Campbell does that I think is a big key to her. To her overall health is portion control. Like we constantly eat these insane, extravagant dinners and meals, and just like we show on social media, that's all real. I mean, we've always done that. We're obsessed with food, and we have like really extravagant meals. But at the same time, that might be our only meal that day. Like we both eat very little for breakfast/lunch, and we also intermittent fast. Like we don't eat till like 12 or even 2. And then we might have like a little something at that time for breakfast/lunch. But then for dinner, we'll have like a really over-the-top meal. But the overall calorie consumption is not that high because it's just one big meal a day for the most part.
Before I got pregnant, I was extreme intermittent faster, like 2 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
But 2 p.m. to like 8:30.
Intermittent fasting is the main health thing she does.
Yeah.
What's the Pookie and Jett cocktail?
God, so many. We love cocktails.
I love it.
Jett
we're
loves
obsessed
a
with
good
food,
cocktail.
wine,
And
cocktails.
that's hard about pregnancy. No one talks about that, huh? It's hard not to have a margarita.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It is hard.
That
And
was
anyone
one of
that
Pookie's-
doesn't say that
Pookie's
is lying.
least favorite part of being pregnant was no cocktail.
Yeah.
It's just I don't like to be drunk. I just like to enjoy a nice drink. Like
I'm glad
one.
you guys say this because some of this culture is quitting on us. We need some of this alcohol consumption's plummeting.
I just like
we
one
gotta-
glass of
we gotta
wine.
save
Well,
these
not
companies.
for us or our friend group, that's for sure. But yeah, we have seen that broadly. It's supposedly down 20% in the current generation. So yeah, Pookie, tell me your favorite cocktail.
Yeah, tell us your
Tell
cocktail.
go-to
Extra
cocktail.
dirty martini, blue cheese, olives
Okay.
is my go-to
With vodka.
cocktail. Yes.
I mean, I have a lot. I mean, for years, my go-to cocktail was a Bullet Rye Old Fashioned on a Big Rock.
That's a classic.
More recently,
He's kind of a comedian.
He
this is
is
how I
a
am
comedian.
24/7. Like it's just
we
film
just
for
got
1 minute and
started.
it's
Like
done. I mean,
we should have a drink and then we'll
Yeah,
keep going.
when I can have a drink, I'll be
True,
coming to Atlanta.
exactly.
Okay, last night you're in the hotel Polo Lounge.
Yeah, what are you doing?
What's your first order?
So the Polo Lounge yesterday, I had 2 of their cocktails off the menu, both tequila-based cocktails, and also a mezcal cocktail. But more typically, I get, like I said, the old-fashioned, or recently I've been into Manhattan's Up, also with rye whiskey.
Yum.
I do paper planes with bourbon. I love tequila and mezcal
Paper
as
planes
well.
with grapefruit, right?
No,
Which
paper plane.
one's
I
that
actually
one?
don't know the recipe, but it's a very balanced cocktail. Like it's bourbon, but it's so balanced that even girls
forget
typically
what's
like
in
it.
it, but
Campbell
I like
actually
it
likes it. I
too.
think it actually has a little bit of Aperol, but the Aperol balances out with the bourbon. I don't normally like Aperol, but with bourbon it balances. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're really into food, really into drinks, love wine as well.
What about makeup, hair? Do you do your own makeup? Do you have someone who helps you? What's social media? I'm sure would love to know what's the mascara you use with these eyelashes. Tell us.
I typically do my own hair and makeup.
Okay.
Not today, but typically I do my own hair and makeup. I love a like blowout look. That's kind of like my signature look. I love just like loose waves, kind of effortless look. And I typically
And I tell her she can get a blowout every day if she wants. I love it too.
That you want to blow out
No,
every day?
that
Or that
she can.
she,
I tell her that she can get a blowout every day if she wants, and spray tan. And,
Oh, I tell Lauren the same thing. I thought you said something different.
I typically wear like no foundation. I like concealer, cream, bronzer. I like all cream products. Cream, concealer, bronzer, and blush. And then I'll like do a little bit of powder and then mascara. I love the I use like a really affordable one, the MCO one.
Yeah, shout out
It's-
to our partner MK Beauty. Yeah.
Shout out.
Is that actually true? 'Cause she has great eyelashes.
I love the
Yeah.
MCO one. I use
Yeah.
a lot of like I feel like affordable mascara is the best mascara.
Everyone needs to go run to listen to this podcast, or rather watch this podcast on YouTube, because the guys were just shaking their head. I was watching you guys both out of my peripheral. You're shaking your head when she's talking about cream bronzer. You guys have no fucking idea what she's talking
What do you fucking
about.
want me to do, Lauren? When you go into these segments,
Michael's like,
Hold on.
oh yeah,
Let's be
cream
honest.
bronzer.
I've been doing this fucking show for so long. We go into these segments every time.
People
what do you
wanna
want me to
know
do in these things? When you go in with the, what's the beauty? What do you
I don't
want
know,
me
but
to
you don't
do?
want
I
to
leave?
shake
Do I
your
just-
head.
Okay, I'll
Like-
sit here stone faced.
Yeah, Michael's like,
You know what'd be funny video segment is while this whole segment's going on, maybe not for this show because we gotta see you. We can just have it zone in on me. You know what I mean? And when they're going through the beauty, you can just have it focus on my reaction the whole time.
I do
That'd be a
have
good
an
concept.
idea
That'd
for
be a
you
good
guys.
concept.
So
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go
one
ahead.
thing that I do think is important to know for beauty in my mind, a tan. For me, I need to have like a base tan or like a spray tan for sure. But I think that allows me to wear less makeup. And I personally love that. I feel more confident when I have less makeup on, but I have a tan.
Yeah, totally.
Like-
Especially when you're post baby. A
Yes,
tan is great.
A tan.
Tan
So
is great. I
that's
mean,
my tip.
yeah, I already mentioned that. I said you can have a blowout every day if you want, spray tan every day if you want. But my two pieces of advice beyond that would be hair is most important. There's a reason in Hollywood they say hair and makeup. Like a hair, like your hair. No, it's just I'm dead serious. Like,
Oh,
you
we know.
If a
I
woman
can
wants to
tell
look
you're
her,
serious.
if a woman wants to look her best, her hair has got to look good. Period. So hair's the most important thing. And makeup, I feel like a lot of girls these days are wearing too much makeup.
Agreed.
Campbell just said that she likes to wear not that much. That's absolutely true. She doesn't wear that much. That's the way to go. That more natural look needs to come back. I think it kind of started to come back and then it kind of faded. It needs to come back.
You know what I like to do to Michael? I like to look so ugly at the house. Like ragged,
You don't look ugly.
disgusting,
I don't
like
believe that.
so ugly, like the worst outfit, like horrible. And then I like him to leave, and then I like to go through the car wash, I call it, and get ready. And then I like to remind him who he married and walk in.
I go, who the hell is that?
It's like I like the juxtaposition of it.
Yeah.
I keep it on point always though. Like,
I do have an idea for you
consistent.
guys. And
Okay.
maybe you've already done this, but I think you guys should do this. I think that you guys should sit down and read all the crazy furniture comments and read what people are saying that it's so ridiculous. Like, have you ever seen on Jimmy Kimmel when like it's Kim Kardashian like reads all her crazy comments?
Yeah.
You guys have like the furniture one and the car one. Like those are so funny. If you guys read them,
Yeah.
people would just die
Well,
laughing.
another thing, like in the sports world, like they'll have like NFL draft picks do this, like Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time, and he'll read like the draft notes from the combine. He'll be like, too skinny, too slow, can't jump, not athletic.
You guys need to do that.
And it's like, okay, well, he won 7 Super Bowls. I guess he's actually pretty athletic.
That's why it's funny though. It's like you guys have built this. You've put your love out there, and people are talking about furniture and how many cars you have. I think the people would like it. It'd be very funny to hear it with your voice.
We've actually thought about doing that.
You should.
We might.
You should. Before you go, is there anything you'd like to leave our audience with? Any, like maybe one last line of advice from both of you guys?
Yeah. So, I mean, as I said at the very beginning, my advice would be to everyone, both in your everyday personal interactions and in social media as well, authentically love out loud. That's what the world needs.
I'm sensing a book, maybe. Him and her book.
Same.
You'll have to come back on the show once it comes out.
That sounds great.
Where can everyone find you, follow you? I'm sure they already do, but pimp yourself out.
You can follow me at Campbell Hunt Puckett on Instagram and TikTok.
That's good. That's the main account.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't have an Instagram?
He
I
does.
do.
He doesn't post,
I do,
really.
but I don't really post. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I like that. That's unique.
Well, listen, is this you said second podcast? This
Yeah, we did the
Second,
toast
yeah.
like 6 months ago.
Toast is great. That's a phenomenal show. You guys are naturals on a mic, really good. For the second time, you would have never known. You would have think it was like the 100th time.
Yeah.
So
You guys are
Thanks for
good on a
coming on.
mic.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
good.
this is awesome, guys. I knew it would be.
Thank you.
Yeah, this
Thank
was
you guys. Thanks for
so
coming on.
fun.